China has 65 million empty homes, entire cities built for people who will never exist. But here's what nobody's telling you. This isn't a real estate crisis. It's a demographic time bomb that's about to detonate the world's second-largest economy. In the next 25 years, China will lose more people than the entire population of Japan. And unlike every other superpower in history, China is about to become the first nation to grow old before it grows rich. This is the story of how a single policy decision 45 years ago sealed China's fate, and why the collapse isn't coming, it's already here. For 4 decades, we've been told the 21st century belongs to China. The numbers seemed undeniable. From 1980 to 2020, China lifted 800 million people out of poverty. Its economy grew by 10% annually. It became the factory of the world. Beijing promised a new world order, the Belt and Road Initiative, Made in China 2025, military bases across the South China Sea. But they made one fatal miscalculation. They forgot to have children. Factor 1. The One Child Catastrophe. In 1979, China implemented the most extreme social engineering experiment in human history, the one-child policy. The fertility rate crashed from 6.1 births per woman to just 1.2 today, far below the 2.1 needed for population stability. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. China created the 4-2-1 family structure. 4 grandparents, 2 parents, 1 child. 1 person supporting 6. It's mathematically impossible. The numbers are staggering. China's population peaked at 1.42 billion. By 2050, it will shrink by 100 million. By 2100, it could fall below 800 million, with some projections showing just 500 million. And here's the killer detail. China is aging 59% faster than Japan did, but Japan got rich first. China won't. Factor 2. The economic death spiral. Remember when China was the world's factory? That model is dead. China's working-age population is shrinking by 35 million in just the next 5 years. Factories can't find workers. Wages are skyrocketing. But it gets worse. Old people don't buy things, they save. China's consumer market, the one they promised would drive global growth, is evaporating. Those 65 million empty apartments, they represent 30% of China's GDP, a real estate bubble built for a population boom that turned into a bust. The Chinese Academy of Social Sciences projects the main pension fund will be depleted by 2035. The government faces an impossible choice: abandon the elderly or cannibalize the economy. Factor 3. The Innovation Stranglehold. China bet everything on becoming a tech superpower. Made in China 2025, AI dominance, semiconductor independence. But they're missing something critical: people. China faces a 30 million skilled worker shortage in manufacturing. In semiconductors alone, 300,000 professionals short by 2025. And here's what nobody talks about. The one-child generation, they call them little emperors, are psychologically different. Studies show they're more risk-averse, less competitive, less entrepreneurial. The opposite of what you need for innovation. China's solution? Robots. They're the world's largest buyer of industrial robots. But robots need engineers, and those engineers, they're choosing Silicon Valley over Shenzhen. Factor 4. The hollow military dragon. China's military modernization looks impressive on paper, but there's a secret vulnerability. 70% of the People's Liberation Army are only children, in a society where each soldier is the sole caretaker for 6 family members. Think about that. In any conflict, every casualty creates 2 grieving parents and 4 devastated grandparents with no other children to support them. It's political suicide. This changes everything about Taiwan. China can't afford a prolonged conflict. They need a lightning victory with minimal casualties. If an invasion bogs down on the beaches, they're finished. That's why China's real strategy isn't military, it's digital. Cyber warfare, economic coercion, gray zone tactics, anything to avoid putting their precious sons in harm's way. Here's what this means for the world. China isn't facing a crisis, it's facing 4 interconnected crises that amplify each other. The workshop of the world is closing. Global supply chains built on cheap Chinese labor, gone. The commodity supercycle driven by Chinese construction, over. China's window to reshape the global order is closing, not in decades, in years. The demographic cliff means they must choose domestic stability or global ambition. They can't have both. Meanwhile, the United States, despite its own challenges, has a sustainable demographic profile. Immigration, higher birth rates, a proven ability to integrate new populations. By 2050, we're looking at a China that's older, poorer, and more fragile than anyone imagined. Not a rising superpower, but a declining regional power desperately managing internal collapse. This demographic collapse is already reshaping our world. If you want to understand what's really happening beyond the headlines, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. And if you think this is alarming, wait until you see how China is desperately trying to escape this trap. Click the card above or the link in the description to watch how China is quietly building an empire in America's backyard, because their solution might be in your neighborhood. The mainstream media won't tell you these stories, but FAULTLINE economics will. Like this video if you want more deep dives into the forces really shaping our world. Because the greatest threat to China's century isn't America, it's math.